What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout, and I'm here with Oceania Regionals top 16 deck lists. Yeah, you have requested to see them. It took a while to import all of them because they were all in like Word files and images. So it took a bit, but now we have them and it's time to share them. Yeah, but before we begin the video, two things. First, huge shout out to our $2 tier patron Ryan K, who buys us coffee and helps us survive YouTube grinds. Thanks Ryan so much. We really need it at the moment because Bandai... I've just announced a break on Monday and Bandai just announced the next set. So I guess no break for Damien. No break for Damien. So yeah, we haven't even done the Ultimate deck yet. So this is gonna be interesting. Thank you Ryan so much for your support. Guys, if you wish to support us this way, of course you don't have to, but if you wish to support us this way, link to our Patreon is in the description below. And of course, guys, hit those share buttons, like, subscribe, help us grow. This is a ton of work and we have a lot of awesome things down the line. So please, if you like this type of content, like, subscribe, share, and help us hit 3,000 subs. Now, roll the video. Okay guys, let's dive into the deck lists. You can find all of them on Eggman's website. I'm linking it in the description below. It's good to have like one place where you can just click and find all of them. So guys, let's start with first place, Red Sin, piloted by Benny. This deck profile is already out on Collector's Company. Go check them out. I will pin their channel in the description, not in the comments, in the comments. So let's go through this. We have this game on the live stream. I will be uploading them at some point. I should have done that by now. Bear with me. So Red Sin. This one is, it's pretty standard. It's a pretty standard build. There are no very big deviations here. We have a lot of aggression here with 3 copies of Deluge of Power, 4 copies of this Gohan. This Gohan is so expensive and it is so strong. Like, guys, like 1 energy, double strike, blocker. When I say so expensive, I think this one is going to gatekeep a lot of people from the deck. But that's Bandai's fault, because this one is just insane. This never should have been a promo card in the first place. Then we have 2 copies of Negative Energy Animals, the other Sin promo, because Sin really needed more promos. And the only thing here that I wish to point out is 4 copies of Android 20 Super Combo. You know, usually you see either Reddits or Beerus, but Benny decided to go with 4 copies of Android 20. And the reason why is because you can actually super combo on higher lives with him. Because he says auto, if your leader is red and it's a Z leader, or you have 2 or more Z energy, or you have a Z battle card in play, you draw 1 and outside of that, he's just 10k. You know, he's similar to Paragus, he's 10k always. But to draw a card, you know, you just need to be a red leader. Sin doesn't even need 2 Z awakened. He has minimum 6 Z energy and you need just 2. So it's a super combo that is online turn 1. That's phenomenal. And so here we have the Z deck, pretty standard, and yeah, this is the sideboard. We're gonna go quickly over these deck lists. I don't want this to last, you know, 20 minutes or so. Let's go. Oh my god, now it's gonna last 20 minutes or so, right? Anyway, second place, Golden Frieza, piloted by John. So this deck is also, I believe, on Collector's Company, CCC Card Gaming. Like I said, I'm gonna post a link to them. Go check it out for some more input on how to play this deck. First thing that I wish to point out, Golden Cooler. If you're playing Frieza, dump the Piccolo Gohan Super Combo Secret Rare, get yourself Golden Cooler. Golden Cooler is phenomenal in this deck. It's phenomenal because in Golden Frieza, he's basically just free energy. You can only play him turn 5 onwards, but then you just restand to energy. So it's a free energy super combo that devastates your opponent's end. That's insane. Other than that, we have a pretty standard package with 2 copies of Malicious Streak. I would recommend running 2 copies. Like, I personally run 2 copies because sometimes you really don't see your Mr. Roshi, but you can get this guy out with Frieza's Call, so you can help yourself awaken. Because if you run into a slower matchup, it's bad. It's pretty bad. And then the rest is pretty standard. 2 copies of Secret ID. So Secret ID coming back in full swing, replacing Dark Broly in a lot of these deck lists. Yeah, this is kinda expected because Secret ID is phenomenal. And 3 copies of the newest Vegeta counterplay. Other than that, the rest is pretty standard. Then we have Supreme Kai of Time 3rd place, piloted by Chris. Not sure where this deck profile is, if it's even out. So, this deck, very, very good. Like I said when I was making my tier list video, I expected Cumber to be the dominant black deck, but it's Supreme Kai. It looks like it's Supreme Kai. It has better results across multiple regions. Over here we are looking at pretty standard Supreme Kai deck lists. Nothing really stands out too much here. I'm checking, yeah, we have 2 copies of this and we have 2 copies of this other super combo. This is just because you can super combo earlier. You don't need to be on 4 lives. And then for the rest, it's pretty standard stuff. But this deck, guys, this deck. Oh, 3 copies of Secret ID. 3 copies of Secret ID. That's very strong. So next we have Hatchet, Mr. M's Hatchet. We are putting the deck profile out tomorrow. We just filmed it today. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not going to comment this deck list too much. Go check out the video. It's super long, but it's an in-depth guide, and you know it's Hatchet. It has to be long. It's on team. It's thematic that it lasts super long. Anyway, yeah, I'm just joking. Like, he's a phenomenal pilot. When he explained this deck to me, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I'm not gonna comment anything. Here's the deck list. Try to figure it out and keep a lookout for the deck profile coming out tomorrow. And this is the Z deck and the side deck. Then we have 5th place, Max's Trunks Gogeta. Max, congratulations. This is, you know, this is a bit of a I won't even call it a deviation. This is the evolution of Trunks Gogeta. Because this time around, players are running more and more of these copies, more and more of them as playsets in Trunks Gogeta, because it's a 20k double striker, which is both Goku and Vegeta. So it's 20k double striker for 1 energy, so that's a lot of pressure. Max also ran 4 copies of the newest starter Vegeta, the Prince of Destruction Vegeta Destined Battle. Because he has Servant, he's 25k, and you play him for 1 energy. And then when he attacks, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, which cost far less in rest mode than KO it. Additionally, if you have a Yellow Sun Goku card in play or in your Z energy, which you can get if you just combo, if you just get this one into Z energy at any point in the game, he gains, and if you have 3 or more energy, he gains double strike. So for 1 energy, 25k double striker. Trunks Gogeta is evolving to become a very, very aggressive deck with amazing control tools. We also have this Zarbon, which says when you during your opponent's turn, when you combo with him, choose up to one of your battle cards and switch to active mode. So you can restand your blockers. You can restand your Vegito, you can restand your barrier blocker, whichever one of them you need to prevent your opponent from swinging again. And then we have the sideboard and the Z deck. It's interesting to see this Gohan come what may in the Z deck, and even 2 copies of Frieza Emperor of Universe 7. Remember, you can't evolve over the 5 cost Frieza. You can't do that. So we're going into the next deck list. 6th place, Kevin's Red Sin. Now this is once again a bit of a more standard list. There are some interesting choices here, like this Dispo, for example, which can stop leader from swinging multiple times. And Peel-Off Missile. Peel-Off Missile is amazing to prevent something important from entering, plus it beans your leader for the SER choice, it's Radiant Saiyans. You don't usually see Radiant Saiyans as the SER choice here. And finally, the very spicy thing, SS3 Nappa. Because I think this is great. Because Sin can get opponents down to that like one less life because the deck is so aggressive, and then like your opponent says like Robotic Riposte or Baby Hatch. I'm on one life but Baby Hatch. And then you just say, okay, you pay for energy, you slap down Nappa. When he's played from your hand, you crit one of your opponent's lives. You just win. I would run the Vegeta God Rare instead of Radiant Saiyans. But yeah, that's basically it. Run that one so that you can burn one, and then if you drop them to one, then you play Nappa and then you burn the other one as well. Though that's pretty slow. And yeah, this is the Z deck. This is the side deck. I mess up sometimes, I'm sorry. So, next off, another David's Supreme Kai of Time. So, another Kai. Once again, a pretty standard list with some interesting inclusions, such as 2 copies of Rebellion Hammer. If the battle card being played has an energy of 4 or less, it's placed in its owner's drop instead of being played. Very, very important right now because we have 4 cost or less cards which you wish to stop from entering. Especially if you're playing in blue. If you're playing against blue, you want like Beerus to go away, Whis to go away. You want Android 21's ramp pieces to go away. So these are pretty good negates. You have negates like this in all colors. And he says if you have 12 or more black cards in your warp, which you will have, reduces cost by 1. And the next spicy thing that I see here is Time Patrol Trunks. I don't usually see this one. Auto, when you play this card using Overwhelm, look up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 of them and add it to your hand, and then place the remaining one at the bottom of your deck. It's a selective draw, basically, which is always awesome to have, especially in a deck where you don't need to get rid of your Overwhelm cards, so he can be like 15k attacker, which just stays on the field. That's very cool. And the rest is Z deck and side deck. Now we have Bobbidi, Ellen's Bobbidi. This one also came out at Saiyans Down Under, I believe. Also gonna link the channel in the comments. Not going to comment on it too much because I really don't understand this deck at all. I haven't watched the deck profile yet, but for those of you who understand how Bobbidi works, here you go. And then we have the Z deck and the side deck. Then 9th place, Zachary's Gogeta. Pretty standard Gogeta. Congratulations, Zachary. The deck is pretty standard. It has some cool inclusions like Indomitable Might. It has this Vegeta instead of Reddit's, which I'm not sure how and why. He's like, if your leader is red and your life is 4 or less, you draw 1. Okay, probably because he's a 10k even if you are above 4 lives. And it's a Vegeta, so it's a Vegeta GT. And then you have 2 copies of Unending Awakening, which basically beans your leader. It's a replacement for the Goku card that got banned. And yeah, this is Z-Deck side deck. Then we have the Invoker list. The Invoker list that everyone has been asking for. Here you go, guys. This is the Invoker list. I'm also not going to talk a lot about this because Nicholas is going to be on the channel on Friday. I believe on Friday, if I can, edit everything and put it out by then. And we're going to talk not necessarily strictly about this deck, but we're going to talk about Invoker and its place in the current meta and some choices and inclusions and such. Plus, he's going to do this deck profile for Collector's Company, I believe. I'm just going to link Australian channels which I think are connected to these deck profiles in the comments, so you can go and check them out. But yeah, this is the Invoker list. Then 11th place, we have this deck profile on the channel, Team's Janemba. Congratulations, Team. Here is the deck. Go check out the deck profile. Tim explains this perfectly. Perfectly. Every single card here makes perfect choice, especially when you look at the side deck and you're like, wow, this is very anti-blue. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Next, we have Majin Vegeta. Jack's Majin Vegeta, 12th place. Jack was on the stream twice, I believe. Yeah, this is his deck. He's like he's playing like a very aggressive build of Majin Vegeta. You see the Boo here, who's like 30k for 1 energy. You have 3 copies of Universe at stake, and you have a very interesting inclusion, Forest Fire. Yeah, Jack, I think you're just waiting for me to talk about Forest Fire in this decklist video, right? Because we had an insane situation on the stream. But yeah, Forest Fire. It's an interesting inclusion. If your leader is a Yellow Saiyan, when you play this card, add up to 1 mono Yellow Saiyan with an energy cost of 4 or just 4 from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle your deck, and then you can get rid of it at the end of your opponent's turn. And then we have the Z deck and the side deck. We're approaching the end, guys, so we are here with Jake's Trunks Gogeta. Oh my god, 15 minutes. Let's not make it 20. Here's the deck. Another very aggressive build of Trunks Gogeta. It has the Zarbons here. It has 2 coolers. It has 3 of these new Vegetas. 4 of these guys. So yeah, Trunks Gogeta becoming very, very, very more aggressive. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. More aggressive than usual. The Z deck, it even has the Z leader in it, and the side deck, which has this, not you, go away, which has this unison, which you don't really see often anymore. I think it's because so many things had a barrier before the last 2 sets or so, because not a lot of things have barrier, and this guy can still clear the board. So I still have my copies of this guy. I think this guy is pretty good. Then we are moving to 14th place, June's Trunks Gogeta. This is also another aggressive build. This one runs Creator Absorbed. It runs, Universe at Stake, and it runs these guys. So it's basically another aggressive Trunks Gogeta build with more, I believe, a bit more controlish options to help you survive, such as Black Kamehameha, Time Magic, Final Flash. I think this one also ran some of them. No. Okay, so this is more aggressive-ish, a more controlish version. And yeah, this is the side deck and the Z deck. Then we have Patrick's 15th place Red Yellow Sin Beerus Super Combo. 4 copies of the newest promo arrival Beerus, the red yellow one, and then we also have 2 copies of the Warplant, and of course 2 copies of Dragon Thunder, which is basically like Senzubin for your leader as activate battle. Amazing, absolutely amazing. We don't see a lot of these builds, because if you're going red yellow, you sacrifice your Unison, and then you lose some other pieces that go along with your Unison. You lose some of the aggression that you can have due to your Unison. So, but yeah, it's still a pretty good build, because it doesn't have a Unison in it, so it doesn't need to worry about cards like Smoke Dragon, for example. And this Beerus is pretty strong, man. Like, this Beerus is pretty good. It's cool to see it being played as a playset. And then we have, the rest. 2 copies of Almighty Resistance. This was always the reason why to play this build, this plus Dragon Thunder, because it's a counter. No, yeah, it's a counter which negates a counter-attack skill. So it basically allows you to go for game when you need it. And finally, Ethan's Apeco at 16th place. Congratulations. This is one of those leaders that never wins an event, but it's always somewhere in the top 16 or top 8. It shows that it's a leader who just needs just a little bit more to be insane. Just a bit more. So he's running Gohans along with Bulmas. Yeah, we have the Vegetos here. We have a whole bunch of these small Son Gokus. Yeah, we have like Unyielding Victory and Explosive Spirit, and then the rest is, you know, pretty standard. Here we also have 2 copies of Turles. Down here we have only a single copy of the Z Leader, and then we have like the other standard package, except for this one. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with this one. It's a one cost 15k, I guess. And then like here is the sideboard. It has a bit more aggression in the form of Boo. So yeah, guys, these are the deck lists. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to build some of these decks? Which decks do you wish to try out? I'm personally hyped for this Invoker build, but I'm not gonna probably play it because I'm absolutely awful at Invoker. Hint, the reason why how to play Invoker hasn't come out yet. Yeah, I think all of these deck lists are phenomenal, and there are some very big surprises here. Like that Hatchet got me going, like, with what's happening here through the entire time while we were filming the deck list. Yeah, that was crazy. Plus, it's awesome to see an Invoker build which actually topped an event. It's great to see this as well. And guys, this has been so much work, so please hit those share, like and subscribe buttons. Help us grow, help us get to 3,000 subs. This is so much work, and now we're diving into the spoiler season for the next set. Like, what premium pack just came out? Like, no, ultimate deck, it didn't even come out. What's happening? Guys, leave your thoughts in the comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.